This video is brought to you by Tom Nook, the #1 fan of your wallet. In video games, we're used to spending an in-game currency like bells to acquire new items, or just spending our valuable time to unlock new features. Sometimes though, you have to make additional purchases within a game to unlock certain new content. Thankfully, this isn't really much of a thing in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Aside from the Appian Paradise DLC, you don't need to spend any additional money to get more content, right? Well, actually, certain content does require you to spend additional money within your Nintendo Switch. For example, if you want to get the Nintendo Switch Lite and Nook Inc. Silk Rug items, you need to pay for a Nintendo Switch Online membership, otherwise these items simply won't be able to be obtained by you. Then you'd have to go online and trade for them and, oh, wait, no membership. Realistically, this means that if you can't find another local player to trade with, then you would need to purchase a membership in order to fully complete the game and get everything. What's fascinating to me about these two items is that technically they were actually the first DLC for New Horizons, with their own fancy download screen and everything. Take that, Appian Paradise. But it actually goes further than that. Since you need an online membership to get those two items, you also need one in order to use the Nintendo Switch Online app, which has even more items for you to collect by exchanging your Nook points currency. These are the Nook Inc. poster, Nook Inc. toilet paper, Nook Inc. balloon, Nook Inc. door plate, Nook Inc. pochette, Nook Inc. sweater, ACNH carrying case, Nook Inc. cushion, raccoon wall clock, and photos of Timmy and Tommy, Tom Nook, and Isabelle. That's quite a lot of items that are hidden within this feature. Now your Tom Nook shrine definitely won't be complete without his photo. Of course, that also means that the other functionality within the app would technically cost you real money too, despite being a free app to download. There's some cool things in here like the island newspaper, which might be one of the most underrated features. I mean, come on, it has gossip about you and your villagers, it's perfect. To be fair though, given they don't update this app, you're not missing out too much. This thing is sitting here taking up storage on my phone right now basically. As I mentioned earlier, you do have to spend additional money in order to unlock the content and features within Appian Paradise. This makes sense, it's a fully fledged DLC with its own story mode, and it's pretty good in my opinion, so honestly it's worth the purchase if you're able to. There are quite a few features in here however that tie into our main islands that you can't use unless you've had the DLC at one point. No trading with other players for these features, you need to bring out the cash. One of these most major features is the ability to fully customize the interior and exterior of your villager houses, something that you only gain the ability to do once you've completed the DLC. That means your villager houses would effectively be permanently set as the game intended, aside from a few item swaps here and there. That means you couldn't make Bob a house fit for the bugs that live in his walls, and that makes Bob sad. Hit the like button and maybe Bob will cheer up. I believe this also means that you would not unlock the ability from Isabelle to reset your villager homes. So for those starter villagers that kept their homes looking like this wonderful design, you wouldn't be able to get them looking like they're supposed to. I guess Renee will be stuck with the worst looking home in the game for the time being. Something that I find incredibly interesting is the fact that Appian Paradise includes some villager features that I have never seen on our main islands, despite having purchased the DLC. These are small things like seeing a villager floating around in the ocean, something you never see them do on our own islands. I guess it's because they're shark-infested waters, but come on, it's not that big of a deal. You can even see the villagers digging at things and using a little trowel in their vacation home gardens. I wish my villagers had this kind of energy on my actual island. Half the time I'm convinced they share one brain cell between them all. They also seem to interact with items way more frequently within their vacation homes too, compared to how rarely they seem to interact with the items in our islands. I swear sometimes they'll sit anywhere but the benches. It was hard enough to get Sasha to sit on this one. Like, I put these here for you to sit on, why did I even bother? I feel like a disappointed parent, honestly. Appian Paradise gave us a good taste of how much more alive villagers could feel within the series, so it's strange to me that it's pretty much locked to the DLC only. Back to the topic of house customization, you also need the DLC in order to get the pillars, counters, and partition walls, one of my absolute favorite features in the game. I mean, look at this, walls in Animal Crossing, it's amazing. Of course, you need to progress through the DLC in order to unlock these and use them on your island. On the bright side, I do believe you get to keep these features even if you don't keep the DLC, for example if your Nintendo Switch membership runs out. Thanks for not taking away our walls, Nintendo. There are even more similar features which require you to purchase DLC that tie into our main island also, such as the ability to change the entryways within your home to be a different texture, the ability to fully control the lighting and the color of it, and also the ambient sounds that play within your home too. Of course, you can use these features when customizing your villager houses. The same applies to the polishing feature, which, honestly, I totally forgot about. But hey, it's pretty cool. I feel like this is one of those overlooked features that, honestly, was really cool, but it gets overshadowed by the many other features that were added to the game. But being able to polish your furniture, that's cool. I like that. There are also apps that you only get by spending money on Appian Paradise, the Appian network which allows you to view homes uploaded by other players that they designed within the DLC, and then the amazing Room Sketch app which I feel like is really underrated. You can basically design any room you'd like within here, making it a really useful space to test out any new ideas that you have without changing up your entire home. And believe me, I try and change my home every week and I always end up regretting it, so this app is a lifesaver. These were really great new features, and it makes sense to have them as a perk that ties over from the DLC. After all, it would have been a big shame if we spent money on Appian Paradise and then we didn't get anything at all for our main islands. Still, it is something extra that you would need to pay for within the game to unlock. One additional paid feature that turned out to be a little bit more controversial was the Sanrio collaboration. Back in 2021, Nintendo updated the game to include Sanrio Villages and items that were exclusively obtained by collecting the amiibo cards of the characters. The items could actually be traded amongst players, but the villages themselves could only be obtained through inviting them to your campsite using their amiibo, making it practically impossible to get them without buying the cards. Whether you liked buying the amiibo or not, the problem is that in 2021 there were issues with the stock of these cards, leading to a lot of shortages. Some people would also buy up these cards and put them on eBay and such, marking up their price pretty dramatically to take advantage of the shortages. That pretty much means that these villages were unavailable on two fronts. One, because you had to pay for them, and two, because you couldn't pay for them. Personally, I think that New Horizons has a great balance between paid features and free content. I'm not such a huge fan of the items that require an online membership like I mentioned earlier, but I definitely think it makes sense that the DLC would have some exclusive features you can unlock and bring over to your main island. After all, Nintendo had to make that DLC enticing to people who maybe weren't super into the idea of creating vacation homes to the hundreds of characters within the game. Now, I want to see about something. In the comment section down below, let me know how many of you have a Nintendo Switch Online membership and how many have actually purchased the DLC. As a little bonus, did you get the membership option that had the DLC included, or did you get it separately? If you made it to the end, then be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, support the content, and subscribe for more Animal Crossing. I want to say thank you to these channel members for supporting me and the content that I make here. Their contributions allow me to keep making videos. If you want to support these videos and get some great perks for doing so, like access to our members only Discord, exclusive Bob emojis, and much more, then click the join button down below the video or the link in the description.